There were only 30 seconds left for a group of 7 friends to survive, and they all start to cry out for help. From the control room, I holler, "Double check your math." They panic even more, moving around the cards on the casino table. I whisper to myself, "Just figure out how many points the dealer needs to get to blackjack." And they got it. 7 seconds left, running to the door. 6, 5, 4, 3, and out. Another team has survived. My husband and I were escape room owners. If you're not familiar with escape rooms, you and your team work together to decode hidden meanings, solve puzzles, and follow a series of clues within a storyline before your time is up. In the end, you escape by finishing or not. Not escaping only means that you go home without any bragging rights while pointing fingers at your teammate who couldn't do the math or open a combination lock. Unless, of course, that person is you. Now, when I wasn't in the escape room on weekends, I was at my full-time job as a diversity, equity, and inclusion practitioner. And I'd often find myself at a different monitor saying, "Check your math, there's an inequity here." Whether talking about hiring, promotions, or pay, my job involves analyzing and spotting the evidence of unbalanced or unfair systems. The workplace is a prime example of an institution overwhelmed by faulty systems. And that's what I want to talk about today. Systems that get in the way of our success, or maybe even survival, and how to challenge these systems. Systems are simply repeated rules or repeated processes. And we live with and interact with different types of systems every day. Social systems, belief systems, transportation systems, financial systems. All of them work a certain way based on how they've been set up. And it caught me by surprise at first when I saw unbalanced and unfair systems in an escape room, because that's just supposed to be a game. But systems will form everywhere humans gather. It's how we try to make sense of things. In the escape room, players also made sense of things by taking on different roles. Someone as a leader, a hunter searching everywhere. And inevitably, there was someone who we in the control room called the challenger. Now, the challenger could realize if something was off in how the group was playing the game, and they were quick to point it out and to try to get their group to change course. Now, not everyone on the team appreciated the challenger's persistence or even appreciated the challenger after long. And it was frustrating to watch this person get dismissed, especially if I knew they were right. One time we had a group with a girl about 10 years old, Mary, and she kept trying to direct her team to map coordinates that she was sure would open a lock. "Nah, that's nothing," they said. "We'll come back to it later," just trying to get her to drop it. Well, Mary was right about the map and other clues along the way. But the adult she was with never listened. At one point, they even said they should have left her at home, right in front of her. Well, guess what? In the end, they lost. When time was up, I just couldn't help but run out of the control room, come in, give Mary a high five, and tell her that she was a winner. The truth is, I saw myself in her, feeling ignored, dismissed, insulted. I have felt like her on many days, especially throughout the years of my career. I've had to challenge systems that get in the way of my success or my team's. And just like her, I don't always feel heard, or my efforts don't result in resounding acceptance. But what I've realized is I need to be a challenger, not just in an escape room, but against systems in life. It was about 10 years ago when daily deal sites were getting popular, the ones like Groupon that have 75% off of a massage or a meal if you hurry up and get the deal that day, that my husband and I noticed small Black-owned businesses weren't being featured often. Being serial entrepreneurs, we decided to start another business. We were launching a deal site to feature these owners, many from underserved communities. We were providing an alternative, challenging the system. But just like Mary in the escape room, while we were doing something positive and helpful, not everyone appreciated it. I actually got hate mail from people telling me that there was no reason to create something unique for Black-owned businesses, or that I didn't know anything about e-commerce, or my favorite, to stick to my day job when they didn't even know my background. These people poured an astonishing amount of energy into trying to stop our small attempt to challenge the system. Now I know that is to be expected. Challengers will be challenged. Without trying to put a play on words, that's the challenge with systems. We form them to make sense of things and to bring order and structure to our busy little worlds, but they are imperfect. It's why renowned engineer and statistician William Deming, who developed this sampling for our census, said, "A bad system will beat a good person every time." A bad system will beat a good person every time. I realize that an escape room is low stakes, and the discounting system of a deal site may not motivate you in the pursuit of change. But what about when the stakes are personally high? If it threatens your livelihood, your reputation, or your future? For one young husband and father, a 28-year-old accounting clerk pursuing his bachelor's degree, that bad system was around career advancement. First, he was told he couldn't get any promotions without that degree. That system didn't seem equally imposed, but he was a smart guy who valued education. He was surprised when, after a year of working to show more leadership, staying up until 2 a.m. to do schoolwork and then apply what he was learning to his job, that he received a poor review from his boss. That poor review jeopardized his promotion, and then his other plans, a raise and buying a new house for his growing family. What would you do if you were in this situation? I know what he did because that 28-year-old was my father in the year 1977. Despite our many talks, I didn't hear this story from him. It was a month after he passed away in 2020 when I was cleaning out his things that I discovered a letter from his employer in its original envelope. He didn't accept that review. He chose to challenge the system. I stared at that letter for what felt like an eternity. And then I moved it to my pile of the things that I will keep forever. And I knew then, being a challenger runs in the family. I have told you about myself and others challenging the system. Now it's your turn. You may feel the impact of a system that you developed yourself, like the at-home routine, night after night. It worked for years. Now it doesn't anymore. Sometimes the systems that fail us are self-imposed. Or maybe it is a work system that's limiting your abilities or your progress, like how much time we give certain topics or certain people in our meetings. How many times have you felt like Mary in the escape room? Or are you the person ignoring her? I believe there is a challenger inside of you. So, how can you challenge the system? First, start by seeing. Challengers see a need for improvement, change, even justice. In the escape room, the challenger could see something was off in how the group was playing the game. Every day at work, I see a workplace where everyone can reach their full potential and systemic barriers hindering that progress. Challengers are not disruptors for disruption's sake. Challengers are seers and envision something better. What do you see? Next, expect. Know what you expect as an outcome. My dad challenged a system that didn't factor in the employee's perspective in their own performance review. And he wasn't alone. The 1970s saw more cases like this than any decade prior. People were pushing back on unfair, purely subjective reviews. What specifically happened with my dad's complaint? The entire review was removed from his employee record. And yes, he got the degree, the house, and the promotion. He got everything he expected. Know what you expect, and you might be surprised to see there are others like you pushing for the same. Then express. Start challenging. Get the attention of your decision makers. Write a letter, make phone calls, bring in allies. Challenge the system through every means. When we started that deal site, we talked to dozens, if not hundreds of businesses, expressing the need, presenting the opportunity, and discussing how we could support them. Lastly, repeat. Ironically, the act of challenging is itself a system. It will require repeating the process. Mary in the escape room didn't give up until time was up. In the end, she had me, this game master, come in and provide immediate validation that she had been right all along. We don't always have that advantage, but we need the same fortitude. Picture an entire control room cheering you on as you repeat the process. See, expect, express, repeat. Be a seer. I know you may think, seer? This is not the battle cry for a challenger. You probably expected something like, we fight, or bring it on, or just do it. But I could challenge you on that. Yes, be a seer, and keep seeing. Keep expecting, keep expressing, and repeat. And always, always be a challenger. That's how we find success for ourselves and for others. Thank you.